it ain't. We told them how to.
Welcome to Lou's Room. What's good, MG?
What's going on, brother?
Not much, bro. Not much, man. We got a lot to catch up on, bro. First off, we got a lot of shit coming, man, on LaRue's Room, but also BOB TV. Make sure you subscribe, like.
Absolutely.
Got a lot of collaboration we got going on with Big Slimo, obviously MG as well, DJ Hope. We got a lot. Got a lot of shit popping, man. But
Coming soon.
Coming soon, bro. Coming soon. It's a work in progress. Outside of that, though, hey, bro, what happened this weekend, bro? What happened?
No, we don't even have to touch any undercard. Just there were some exciting fights, but I mean, the whole boxing world talking about one thing, man. And that's
Is it robbery?
the controversial decision of one ref. I think that everyone might be cool with the other two, but there was a ref that went 116, 112, and that was the outlier of people thinking it was a fix.
I heard it was that fourth round too. That fourth round is he had. Everybody thought Bivol won that fourth round, but apparently he gave it to Beterbiev.
Yeah, and I mean, I think real time watching that fight. I was before the judge raised the hand. I was like, it's going to be a draw. That's what that's what I was assuming. That's how I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it was like, all right, well, if it's not a draw, Bivol probably won off of being being busier. And he was busier, and he tried to steal rounds at the end. Like, if he was down on certain rounds, or thought he was down on certain rounds, he'd throw a lot of more, like, eye-catching, even if they didn't land, but eye-catching shots for the judges to see as the round ended.
I agree.
I think that was why everyone was so baffled. But to be honest, like, rewatching it a little bit, like, I get the Beterbiev decision. Even if you look at Bivol's face, you will also get the Beterbiev decision. But it just, if it was pure boxing, I would have told you that it was going to go the other way. But just from the optics, pure boxing optics, I would have told you that they were going to either give it to Bivol or it's going to be a draw. Because Bivol definitely led up in the later rounds due to fatigue because he was so busy, I believe, in the first few. Or he might have let up on the gas. I'm not sure.
Right.
But it was just kind of – it was interesting to see how lopsided one of those cards were. The other cards, I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. If you're going to call it Beterbiev by 2 rounds, yeah, it's fine. 4 rounds, I don't think he was better than him 4 times.
Ain't no way.
In the fight.
Ain't no way. I mean, and I actually had to watch it. Like, I watched it a little bit yesterday, but I watched the whole thing tonight. But I think for me, man, like, obviously they both fought their fights. Like, Bivol's a boxer, right? Beterbiev, he's looking for that shot.
Pressure.
But he's a pressure fighter looking for that shot. He's also kind of busy, though, too. He's nonstop. He's coming at you.
Yeah, he's more technically sound than he was more technically sound on Saturday than I thought he would be.
Well, but we never...
And I think that's what...
We never got to see it, though, because, I mean, shit, who was it, Joe Smith? Got him out of there quick. Then Colin Smith, he got him out of there, too. I mean, I think this was his best performance.
Yeah, the fights where he was down even, it was the big shot that brought him back. I mean, most people that fight him are on their back foot, including Bivol, for a majority of the fight. And that's kind of where I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. If the judge is looking at it, even though Bivol had moments where he was the aggressor, most of the time you could see he was basically playing if Beterbiev was going to, like, near the end of the rounds, was like, is Beterbiev going to land the shot on me?
Right.
And whenever Beterbiev started throwing, it was like, all right, there were a few exchanges where I was like, okay, Bivol did a good job of staying in the pocket and returning fire. But, like, it was clear that he didn't want to get hit with that one shot, which is rightfully so. I get it.
I don't fault him one bit. I mean, my thing is, though, too, bro, like, they both, like, if you looked at all the previous fights on both sides, it looks the exact same. Like, they stuck to the game plan. They did what they did, very well. That kind of got them to this point. I think Bivol, man, like controlling the distance the best way he could, landing more shots, eye catching, stealing some rounds. I thought he should have won that fight.
Yeah, I think that, like I said, I think that if you look at it from a pure optics standpoint, like a casual, and not even saying like a non-casual either, but like if you show that fight to 100 people, 98, 99 of them are probably gonna say that Bivol won that fight.
I agree.
And I guess, and they say you got to judge it round by round, and not like the culmination, like it's 0-0 each round, and you have to judge a fight, and like as a result, like, and you look at it like that, kind of, it's like maybe you look at it like, okay, well, yeah, he was busy this round, he wasn't, like, you can't look at it culmination wise, and that's kind of like where I get to thinking like, okay, maybe if they looked at it like that, and you just do it round by round. There are rounds where Beterbiev, like, was absolutely the aggressor, didn't take a round off, and there are rounds where he was a little gassed. His corner was even saying like, "Yo, like, you got to get through this." They knew he was gassed, and like, you got to look at it round by round. And if you just add all those up, there might have been a few where Beterbiev was the aggressor more than Bivol was, and that might lead to that, but it wasn't 4.
Nah.
That's what I'm looking at. It just wasn't 4 rounds.
I don't see it.
Yeah. Or 4 more rounds, let's put it like that, than that. And better, and Bivol made the classic mistake of letting up in the later rounds that we've seen, and even in these past few years, it just continues to happen, and people leave it up to the judge's decision. It's going to be that anyway, so you might as well, And I mean, it's easier said than done. Obviously, you got to get in there with someone that's a straight killer.
You got a warrior in there with you, bro. Like, it's all it takes is one shot from him too. So you got to be on your guard. You got to be on your shit.
Yeah.
What'd you score it?
But
I scored it 115, 113. It was a close fight.
I think, honestly, I think it was a draw.
You think it was a draw?
I would have scored it. I would have 114, 114 drawed it. Honestly, not even kidding. It seemed like a draw. Like, it seemed to me in the moment, like I said, I thought it was a draw. Not even for the simple fact that they realized they can make way more money on the rematch. But I think that due to the later rounds, I was like, okay, first half of the fight, Beterbiev was slow at trying to figure out what Bivol was gonna do for his game plan. And then as he figured it out, he really figured it out. And it looked like Bivol was on his back foot. And from that point on, I was like, all right, well, it was a tale of two fights, save for a few rounds. And I'm like, all right, well, I would have gave it a draw, personally. But like I said, if they would have edged it out, if the judges would have said 115, 113, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And for Bivol, but yeah, that makes sense. But I thought it was a draw. Honestly,
I don't think so. Like, I was kidding about the whole robbery thing. Like, I think.
Oh, I get it though. I get the talk.
One can definitely make that argument, but I mean, I'm kind of like to the point where it's, I'm okay either way. As long as we get a rematch, I'm okay either way, because I think this could be a trilogy, in my opinion.
And I don't know. I mean, Beterbiev is 39 going on 40.
He's gonna be 40, yeah.
So, I mean, that rematch for a trilogy, I can see it being 2, but I don't know if unless they do both next year, one early, one late.
Yeah.
I see it being a 2-fight thing. I see it being a 2-fight. I hope it's a 2-fight thing, at least. You know what I mean?
I hope so too. But like, Beterbiev, man, what kind of money has he made in his career? You know what I mean? Like, I think he could benefit from a trilogy.
Yeah, he could, but you got to look at it like, even being a warrior and you being in that many battles,
wars.
I mean, and he gets dropped, gets right back. He gets dropped in fights. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there are actual wars. He's coming off that crazy injury that had to delay this fight. So, like, all those things take a toll to where you're like, all right, I could do one more. I don't want to see, like, Canelo Triple G was a trilogy, but only 2 fights were.
This is a dumb third fight, bro. Dumb.
You know what I mean? Like, only 2 of the fights actually were, like, Fury. Wilder was a trilogy. That deserved to be 3 fights. I'm glad it was 3 fights. It lived up to the hype, all 3 fights. I don't think this would that third fight. I think that Beterbiev's body would just be so not. He would be a step slower, in my opinion. After 2 wars with Bivol and all the punishment he's taken throughout his career, I think that I think that 2 would be fine. I think if we get one more, I'm good with leaving it, no matter the outcome. But the fact that if Bivol is a winner of the next fight, then this is gonna probably be a trilogy. But and if it's a draw, also there's things like that. Like I don't know. I don't know. I just want to. I just want to. That's how I look at it.
If there was 3, I think Bivol wins the next 2. Why? Because I think Beterbiev's training style is just different. Like, you can't withstand that. And punishment on top of it. I think he's taken more punishment or had way harder sparring matches in camp than anything else.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm like, it's got to be it.
Yeah, like that shit's taking a toll on him. I respect it. Don't get me wrong, I definitely respect it, but
for sure,
that shit is not sustainable at all.
I also think I don't know. I think Beterbiev, if it's the same type of fight, I think Beterbiev, if he leans more on conditioning, and there isn't like a long layoff between the two, and we get like ring rest and things like that, and he has a little bit better conditioning, he might land some of them shots when he could have, instead of those situations where he was like a little more gassed.
Maybe.
And so I don't know. That's he already lumped. He was lumping up his face was visibly. You know what I mean? Like, Bivol's a warrior, so even though even though we haven't seen him get tested, like, he proved he can take the shots. But
that left eye
and there wasn't too many crazy ones, but like and he was talking about after, but like a lot of the damage came from when Beterbiev was like hitting his glove, and it was like he was hitting his own face with the glove. That's how hard he punches. Like, he was punching basically through, and was hitting himself.
Insane, bro. That is insane.
So that's how hard he punches. Now imagine if someone else would have landed. Like, you know what I mean? And I think that if you take that loss and you're like, what do I need to do to win? If you're Bivol, and if that answer is you think you got to get more aggressive, that might leave yourself open to, you know what I mean? Like, that one getting through.
That's very true.
So that's the only thing I worry about. It's like, if they would have gave Bivol the decision, Beterbiev would have like, do I need to outbox instead of trying to, you know what I mean, a little bit better.
Right.
But now that Bivol, quote unquote, outboxed him, I feel like the camp is gonna be like either 2 ways, right? We either keep everything the same and hope it goes, our way tonight, or we gotta be more aggressive, which for 12 rounds, like, Beterbiev has 12 round knockouts, so it isn't like you can just stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just better hope he's having an off night, bro. That's it.
Which this might have been the worst we've seen, like, the most off we've seen. Yeah. So you don't know if that's going to happen again, essentially. He wasn't even off. He won the fight, but
right.
According to his standards.
So,
because even when they announced it, he was like, damn. Essentially, like, oh, shit. He thought he lost. So, what were you about to say?
Nah, I'm just playing matchmaker at this point, man. If they don't fight, who's there left? Like, who do you fight if you're Bivol? Canelo? No.
I saw they floated the idea of the winner of Benavidez and Morrell fighting the winner and the loser fighting the loser.
Let's jump to that.